I've tested over 50 to 60 different wallets at this point, giving me a unique take on the wallet industry, giving me insight into what is a good wallet, but more importantly, what is a bad wallet. One of the biggest growing segments in the wallet industry is the slim leather wallet, for those people that really liked bifold wallets, but want a more compact size. And I'll be ranking my favorites from what I've tested now. But first, a couple quick things. Number one, all of these wallets were given to me by the respective brand. Number two, if you have interest in purchasing any of these, I have paid links down in the description, which do give me a commission if you guys make a purchase, which helps me in making videos like this. We do also retail some of these wallets, so you will find those down in the description as well. And number three, we actually do have quite a few discount codes for these wallets, and you'll find those in the same place. So let's get to the wallets. Number 10 is the Bellroy Slim Sleeve. Now this is very similar to your standard bifold. Some things I really appreciate about this wallet is really its build quality. Bellroy does a fantastic job with pretty much all of their wallets. I also appreciate their color options. I think this one specifically is pretty unique in the industry for leather. It also is very, very compact, especially considering you have a bifold style design. And then my favorite feature, which is going to be kind of a trend in this video, is this pull tab, which you can pull and get your cards out really easily. Now, the major downside to this is I have to say the quality isn't quite as nice as some of the other alternatives that are very similar to this wallet, but we'll get to those a little bit later in this video. Now, number 9 is this Nomad Card Wallet Plus. I really, really like the Horween leather on this one. It's a very, very durable style of leather, really high quality, and it's very heavyweight. So if you're somebody that likes a heavier bifold wallet, but looking for something a little more compact, this is an awesome option. I also appreciate on the inside of the wallet, each card has its own separate sleeve, meaning none of the cards are touching while they're inside the wallet, which means unlike a lot of the other card holders and minimalist wallets out there, these are not damaging each other every time you put them in. Another feature I really liked is the external card slot right here. You can easily have kind of like your, I don't know, Costco card or something like that on the back of the wallet, so you don't even have to open up the wallet to get your most used card. And then finally, of all of the wallets on here, this thing actually has a pretty significant card capacity. It does come with a little bit extra bulk over pretty much any other wallet on this list. However, it does have a higher capacity, and I appreciate that. And coming back to the size, that is my main downside to this wallet, unfortunately, is it is a little bit larger than really anything else on this list. Now, number 8 is the Harber London RFID card wallet. Now, this is a very similar design to the Bellroy we saw earlier, where it's basically a bifold, just, you know, more compact. Except for I think the leather on this one is much nicer. If you like that more kind of smooth, less soft, more smooth kind of leather, this is an amazing option for you, and is one of the favorite things that I have about it. It also is a more pliable wallet, so it kind of feels really nice in your pocket and forms around a lot of the other stuff, unlike metal wallets. As you can see, it is extremely thin. The leather itself is not super thick or heavyweight, meaning it has a really compact size even when there's cards and cash inserted in it. This is also the first kind of bifold style card holder that has magnets built into it, where you can hear it sound really nice. And then, of course, like a lot of these other wallets, it does have a pull tab, so you kind of access those lesser used cards on this side of the wallet. The major downside to it, for me anyways, is the fact that it does not have an external card slot, kind of like what we saw on the Nomad wallet earlier. Now, number 7 is the Trayvax Contour Lite. This wallet is the first of kind of the more minimalist style wallet, that sandwich style wallet that you guys have seen. However, it features plenty of leather on it, and that's why I'm including it on this list. If you're somebody that likes that sandwich wallet style, but wants leather, this is a great option. It is extremely, extremely high quality, like ridiculously high quality, amazing materials, and that's the number one thing I really like about this wallet. It is also fully adjustable to your needs. You can easily adjust pretty much anything on this wallet. If you want to add in more cash, you want to add in more cards or remove cards, you can just adjust the wallet to fit your needs just by adjusting it with some screws. Next thing I really like is it is made in the United States. I really appreciate that. I am based out of the United States, and it is great to have products like this that are based in the United States, and there is a lot of great quality control stuff that kind of comes along with that. And then finally, it uses this top grain leather that, oh, smells so good. And honestly is going to last a lifetime. It patinas well and just looks nice as well. Now, the major downside really is that you sometimes do kind of struggle to get to your cards. There's no pull tab, but you can kind of slide up your main used card like that. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit more difficult than some of the competition. Now, before we move on to the final 6 wallets on this list, if you have found this at all helpful, I do recommend you guys subscribing, as I have a lot of videos coming out just like this. And don't forget to comment if you've used any of these wallets and want to share your own experience or have any questions. I'm happy to answer. And that brings us to the Ekster Wallet Pro. Now, I do not recommend the standard Ekster wallet, but the new Pro version completely changes everything and is now one of my most recommended wallets. With its new aluminum card holder, that means it has one of my favorite card holders of any wallet, and it also replaces the plastic ejector mechanism with now a full metal button and ejector mechanism. The leather feels fantastic. This is Italian leather. And now it finally has a really high quality build. And this is an amazing alternative if somebody's wanting to move away from a bifold wallet but likes that form factor but wishes it had a card ejector mechanism. This is going to be one of your best choices. That said, it isn't perfect in the fact that it is actually quite bulky still. There's really no way around it when you add an ejector mechanism and keep a bifold design. And it also doesn't like to fully close all the time. And that might change over the years as this thing flexes out more. Now, number 5 is this double oak slim wallet. Now, outside of the Ekster card holders, this is my favorite card holder ever. It feels really nice, is high quality, and is completely removable from the sleeve. And it should also be mentioned, this thing is magnetic and is MagSafe compatible, so it can be slapped on the back of your phone whenever you don't want to take this larger leather portion with you. And this also brings me to double oak, which has some of my favorite leather I've ever had. It patina's really nice and it's incredibly soft. I really, really like the leather that they use on their wallets. And then the last thing that I really like, outside of it, just being a slim metal card holder, is the fact that it has a locking mechanism right here where you basically push the button upward and the cards won't fall out. The major downside to this is there isn't a ton of capacity outside of the standard card holder right here. Really, there's only going to be a slim slot on the back, which really only is good for cash and maybe one card. Now, my number 4 choice is the Dun wallet. This is being touted as the slimmest leather wallet on sale. Now, I can't really tell for sure if that's true because I don't have every single wallet in the world in front of me, but it is impressively thin. And that is my number 1 favorite thing about this wallet, is just how thin it is, for being a wallet that is very much a bifold in disguise. I also appreciated its very, very simplistic kind of styling, and it has a kind of cool way of storing cash that's both secure but also easy to access. Now, the major downsides I had with this wallet is the card capacity. They say it can hold up to 8 cards because you can put 2 of each card into each of these slots. However, I have to say they're a little bit difficult to get to if that's the case, so really it only is going to hold up to about 4 cards, 1 in each of these slots. And then the other thing I didn't super like about it is the leather does feel nice, but it doesn't feel quite as high quality as some of the other wallets on this list. Number 3 is the Bellroy card sleeve. I really appreciate how easy it is to access the interior cards just by pulling up on the tab, which also gives me reliable access to my lesser used cards. It has that same nice leather build that Bellroy has. And unlike a lot of the other wallets that are minimalist, it has really reliable and worry-free cash storage on the back right here, and I appreciate that. And then its compact sizing is really nice. You barely notice this thing in your pocket, and it does form really well around other things in your pocket, kind of like keys. You don't really notice this in your pocket all that much just because of its very pliable and small nature. Now, some cons to it, it is still going to be a little bit larger than some other minimalist wallets that are the size of a credit card. And in comparison to some of the other wallets, you don't quite have as easy access to as many cards. Now, these last 2 wallets were really, really hard for me to decide which one should be number 1 and which one should be number 2, because they both are amazing options and they really just cater to 2 different types of people. So I put the number 2 as being the Proof Wallet Leather specifically. I have to say the leather version of this wallet is fantastic. There are other materials if you do choose to get those, but the leather is by far my favorite. Now, just like the double oak wallets, this has my favorite style of leather, where it's kind of that softer, a little bit more kind of grainy feel of leather. The pull tab on this, get access to the cards on the interior, works really, really well. There is metal on the back that kind of helps it get its rigidity, and that has been extremely durable. And with a capacity of up to 25 cards, this has one of the highest capacities of any wallet I've ever tested. And even though it has a high capacity, it's not much bigger than the credit cards that it stores. making it one of the most compact wallets on this list as well. Even outside of just leather wallets, this is one of my favorite wallets I've ever used, and I can't really think of many downsides to it. So I'll leave that to you in the comments if you can think of any. And that brings us to number 1, and that is the Double Oak Cloud wallet. It wins out as the best leather slim wallet I've ever used. And that really comes down to its leather. I think this thing is incredibly nice. It feels really nice. You can get the nice scratches in it that kind of patina into it. It also keeps really compact for being that bifold wallet style. I think it's a fantastic value for the price as well. It's not a crazy price considering the full grain leather and the build and all of that. And then its interior cash storage is something I think a lot of people will like. You only have to fold them once, and it's kind of hidden behind, but it's super easy to access. And really the only downside that I can think of on this is that for some people, if you are somebody that has a lot of cards on you at any point in time, you may not have quite enough storage in this wallet, but otherwise, this is an amazing wallet that I keep coming back to and using as a daily driver. Now, if you liked the minimalist wallets in this video, you might also be interested in my best minimalist wallets video, which you'll find right here.